Welcome back to the Ambition Over Fear portal. I'm Atlas Opia, and I help people expand their interdimensional knowledge. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing an issue that can arise when we're not in the feminine, allowing ourselves to be purely what we are in this moment without the pressure of needing to be somebody or needing to do something. We all get caught up in the expectations that come with being a human. And so if you keep watching this video, I'll give you an understanding on how to balance the fluidity of your soul and the structure of reality that you may be living from. If you're back on this channel or if you're new here, welcome. And definitely check out the rest of my videos if you're curious about how to expand your consciousness in a way that is more understandable to your mind, so your soul and your body are less split and they're merging into one hybrid identity. So to jump right into it, I want to ask you this question, and that's, when is the last time you let go to a point where you felt like you were out of control? We all feel on some level that it is our right here on this planet to create, to experience our desires, to use the powers of our soul in this dimension to alter the energy we're getting to experience in and outside of our body. But what happens when we're not aware of the subconscious programming that has been imprinted by the collective? We end up being guided into directions that we're not fully agreeing to because it's happening on a subconscious level. When you as a soul came into this matrix, you adapted to the program that was running in the simulation during the time that was widespread throughout everybody on Earth. And during that time, there probably was a theme of an overbearing masculine energy, which kind of goes like this. If you want to succeed, you have to work non-stop. You have to put in energy non-stop. If you would like to take your art or your business to the next level, you have to be only doing that and obsessing on what you're creating to a point where you're consistently putting in momentum. See, the masculine is the external action in the field. And although it's very important, it's also important to balance that out with the feminine, which is an essence of receptivity to what we're experiencing in this moment. It is a way for our soul to fully bathe itself in any frequency that we encounter. To fully get the totality of an emotion or an experience, we have to be with it long enough for our cellular system to be engrossed in that vibration. But oftentimes there is a judgment that comes from our own mind. There is a feeling inside of us where we have to manage and micromanage and mitigate our own system to a point where it can make us feel like we're trapped in. And that can come from growing up and feeling as if the trauma or experiences that have happened to us could have been avoided if we controlled them more. And then when we go through disimbalances inside of ourselves, we can overcompensate by wanting to over-control the external world. So the masculine is great because it gives you action, it creates a structure of habits, it gives you direction of where you're going, and you get to pick a timeline that you're tapped into. But the feminine truly can allow you to be in a state of receptivity to that new energy. When you're shifting from one paradigm into another, there is a point where you are not attached to who you think you were. So you have less of a grounding on who you've been and what this body does mean to you. And you may feel in that moment like everything has stopped, like the world around you is on pause, because you're in the 0 point where you're emptying yourself of the mind and you're bringing in your soul as you move into that new structure of energy and this new version of yourself. Tell yourself in this moment that you don't need to be anyone. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to worry or fixate on what's coming tomorrow. You don't need to redeem yourself from the past. You are perfect in this moment, because in this moment you are getting to experience a part of your story, whether it be empowering or disempowering. This is the last time you allowed yourself just to feel anxiety or depression or anger, and then really communicate with your system that I know why you feel this emotion. It's okay. It's a understandable cause and effect, because this happened and it made you feel this way. When we allow our emotions to exist, we can move through them quicker. And if we're doing shadow work and we're in an introspective place and we're trying to use our mind to understand why this happened, how we can shift our perception, and how to change the neuroplasticity in our mental field, that's masculine and that is great. But if you don't allow yourself to sit in the energy of what is in this moment, then you never fully allow yourself to take the human experience in the magnitude of what it is, because your soul is formless. It came in this body, it reincarnated here to have the sensations of being a human, to go through the empowering and disempowering thoughts and emotions, to see value in every moment because you're there. Instead of trying to escape and change your emotion and change your mind state, you can't consistently be altering your, mental frame. Sometimes you have to fall into wherever you're at. So now I'm calling you to take time to rest. I'm calling in your guides and your higher self and the reincarnations that need your attention to provide you guidance, so you can bring energy into your body, so you can really have a conversation with that inner child within, which was there when you've experienced disempowering things during your life. And that inner child was there during all the moments in your life where you felt pain. And oftentimes we were so focused on moving to the next thing, to conquering that pain, to getting out of the position we're in, that this inner child inside of us doesn't feel validated. It's carrying all the guilt and shame of, why was I part of the creation of these experiences, and the person that I'm part of didn't want anything to do with it. So your inner child may think that it has harmed you by being a part of the creation of things that have hurt you in the past. So take time to communicate with your inner child, sit with it, and have it stand right next to you as you visit the times in your life that were difficult. And when your inner child is there, hold him or her, wrap him or her with a blanket of golden light, and explain that this experience happened because of this, and that is okay. And when you can fall and rest and bathe in that frequency of acceptance and non-judgment and innocence that your inner child wants to feel, because really everything is neutral from a higher dimension, and anything we've experienced is just information that is part of a larger puzzle that we're deciphering and figuring out. So when you're in that space where you feel tired, you feel like you're putting work and energy into becoming something that you know you deserve, and you're really moving towards the state of expansion, take time to call the divine feminine inside of you forward. Release the pressure of you having to be somebody, or needing to have gotten this done by yesterday, or why hasn't this happened yet? What could I do differently? What am I doing wrong? You know, the mind will start to go wild when we give it an opening of overanalyzation, right? That's what it comes down to. So take time to just be human. You're a galactic soul, possibly a starseed. You have roots in different dimensions and planets, and you're here having the human experience, and you're learning how to even be here. So while you're doing that, really move into your 5 senses. Be curious about the patterns you see in the colors around you, or how things feel when you're touching them, and the ground beneath your feet. Just connect to your body in a way where you're curious about how your body is able to hold your soul, and you give thanks to your body for doing that. So take that time, please, because I understand what it feels like. I've been growing and changing and manifesting something for a long time. And in that process, I've been very hard on myself. I've been very critical on myself because I may not have gotten the results I wanted to. I was so attached to the results of my manifestations that my life was dictated based on the outcome of this one particular thing. And in that moment, I realized I'm giving all my power away. I'm allowing my entire state of being to be controlled by one thing, and that thing can't even blossom because it's feeling the pressure of my entire being saying, you better happen or I'm gonna feel really bad. So it's a two-way conversation between you and what you're creating, and sometimes you have to realize that the momentum you've been cultivating to create something is in the unseen dimension. Remember, higher dimensional energy from our imagination flows through time and space to be created into physical matter. But sometimes to let go of the hold we have on one identity into another, we have to move into a state where we're not feeling the pressure to become this new identity because we don't accept the old versions of ourselves. It's a non-stop hamster wheel, and it's time to jump off and land on the ground and slow ourselves into a calming nature of self-forgiveness and love, so we can determine how the present moment can entertain us and make us feel safe. Well, thank you guys for being a part of this video, for sharing this heartfelt moment with me, and for being here, stepping into your power and deciding to go into a direction of the unknown so you can retrieve what is meant for you. I make videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Definitely subscribe, comment down below what you've been going through. Let's connect. I want to hear about your story too. And also, if you're a starseed and a soul that has access to powerful technology and magic and power, but you in this human body do not know fully how to merge into that knowing and use those powers and gifts in this dimension, consider my galactic quantum coaching. What I've really done is taken this encrypted understanding of what it means to be a starseed in a human body, and I've broken it down into in understandable sequence and process, so you can know why you're a starseed here, what job or tasks or missions you've had in the higher dimensions on different planets as that starseed being, and to really bring that power into this human body so you can transmute energy and interact with the quantum field with more impact. And as you remember and I call in the information from your akashic records, you can lean into performing the tasks of your starseed being in this body, merging the lifetimes so you can really operate from both of those knowings, and you can bring the purpose you've had as a starseed into Earth, because you're meant to help people here and souls in the higher dimensions. But because you're in a human body right now, your mind has to engage with a new language and ways to perceive the quantum field. And that's why I've broken down a collection of interdimensional skills, so you know, okay, if I would like to do this, I can do these skills in this order, and this will get done. If I would like to bring in a particular energy into my system, or tap into the life as a starseed being that I had and perform a task, and that could be, you know, moving resources around into different planets, protecting your family of sacred souls in the higher dimensions, and really bringing energy into Earth that other galactic souls need. All these things require us to do actions in the quantum field, and that's what I'm here to offer, is a way to do that and harness and organize your power so it's not chaotic anymore. Well, thank you for being here, and hope to hear from all of you soon. And remember to stay in peace and power by feeling the intense magnitude of the universe and your soul in this body, and that being enough. You not needing to accomplish something to give yourself the permission to feel joyful or happy. Okay, bye.